This is for any women that have had an abortion, and especially if you're carrying a lot of guilt around that. And the reason I'm doing this video is it just didn't occur to me until I did one the other day, and it came up about the abortion that I'd had when I was in my early 20s, and I'm now 43. And that I'd been carrying this guilt with me for 20 years, over 20 years, and I didn't even realise. And that is why I've decided to do this video today, to just try and help other women that have also been through that, but also to just share an experience that I had, which was the one that brought it to light, where I hadn't actually realised I'd forgiven myself. And this will hopefully give you hope and meaning and just hopefully the ability to enable you to forgive yourself and to just lessen that guilt of what you've done. And for myself, after I'd had the abortion, I had so much guilt. And when it did come to having children later on, there's just a lot of shame. And I just kind of felt like, oh my gosh, like I've just been gifted another child. I have to do everything to protect this child, because I'd felt like I'd let that baby down. I was its mother. I should have protected it. And when it was completely in my environment, in my care, I let it down. And that was the guilt that had weighed me down for all that time that I just hadn't realised. And so when it was 20 years on, I went to this beautiful ceremony and I had cacao for the first time. And so for anybody that doesn't know about cacao actually enables you to open your heart and connect more to your heart. And the lady, the facilitator who'd created this space, had the elements of like earth, air, fire, water in ways that we could connect with it. And for some reason, I had just painted this real big, bright light, which I never really understood. I mean, I've never been drawn to art. I would love to be able to do art, but I've never particularly been drawn to it. But at this point I did, and I just drew this big light. And I'd realised, oh my gosh, I've actually seen this light before, which was in a vision I had. And I've only ever had one vision ever. So usually when my eyes are closed, I see black, unless I've given energy healing, I've received energy healing, or I'm dreaming, or I've done psychedelics. Otherwise, I only see black. And this vision was after an ecstatic dance. There was a sound bath, and it was the clearest vision that there was this bright light. And then by my side, there was this wolf-looking, like wolf, basically next to me. And there was like an old age, like Native American Indian. The only time I've had a vision, but it was so clear in that vision that these were my spirit guides. These were guiding me and with me all the way. And the reason I'm mentioning that is about the bright light. So I drew this light, and then these words just flew out of me. Have you forgiven yourself yet? I have. And in that moment, it was like I feel a bit emotional now, but it was like somebody just turned on this tap. I was crying like a baby, and I hadn't realised all that pain, all that guilt, all that shame that I'd been storing in my body, and I never actually realised that I had released that. I'd never realised I'd stored it. I'd never realised I hadn't let go of that. I hadn't realised that I'd never forgiven myself for that, for doing that. And that was the moment where I realised. Sorry, I'm going to have to pause a second. Okay, I just needed to gather my thoughts. And so after I'd had that moment, and I must have been crying for a solid half an hour while I was releasing. It actually was quite cathartic, and it was like just this energy that I'd stored was releasing from me. And as I sat there and created this safe space for myself, or the lady, the facilitator, had created, what came to me was very, very clear that this was always the plan for my life. It was always going to happen, because at that particular time I was in a very toxic relationship where the man was physically abusive, and it was the clearest message that it had to take something so extreme to cut my emotional tie with him. And now we are all going to have many different reasons for why we decide to have an abortion or pressured into having an abortion. And it's going to be very different. But I just want you to know that if you have had one, then it also would have been the same for you. It also always would have been your plan. I do believe that life is like a computer game in regards that everything is already programmed in. All the different endings are already programmed in. Of course, we have free will, but this means all the possible outcomes have already been set. And that also means the steps in which we go through in our life. So if you've had an abortion, just know that the soul that you were carrying, it was a gift for you to enable you to live a particular life and to be on a particular path. And I know that might feel so hard for many people to grasp, but that was my experience. And we are all connected. We are all alike in many, many ways. And I know if that has been my experience, it will also be the same experience for many other women out there, that was always the plan of your life, and that this soul has forgiven you. They don't hold anything against you. And they did this for you, and it was okay. You know, like I said, when I had that vision, it was a spirit guide. It's actually with me still now. I might not see them, but I know that they are here with my other spirit guides. Maybe yours is part of your soul family. But just trust that if you are watching this, then this message is for you for a reason. I do not believe in coincidences, only synchronicity, or coincidences are the way of the universe bringing the truth to you. So just trust in that, please. So much love, so much blessings from the bottom of my heart. Please just maybe give yourself a little ceremony to enable you to help to let go and to forgive. Let go of the shame, let go of the guilt, and forgive yourself. You did the best that you could in that time. Okay. Look after yourself. Bye.